Hey guys, my name's Haley. Welcome back to the Disney Cupcake channel. Today we're going to be making some Disney cupcakes. This is my logo for my YouTube channel. I'm super excited to show you guys how to make these cupcakes, so let's get started. So to make these cupcakes, you will need something to keep your area clean, something that you will need to roll out modeling chocolate on. I'm using a Wilton fondant mat, or you could always lay out wax paper and tape it to the counter or table. Next you will need cupcakes. You can do any recipe you'd like, whether it's a bake mix or your own recipe, and you will need to bake them in red cupcake wrappers. Next you will need some cornstarch. Next you will need a bag of white icing. It can be canned icing or your own icing. I'm using a Wilton bag in tip 2A, also by Wilton. Next you will need a 1/8 cup of light corn syrup. Next you will need 6 ounces of black candy melts, a spoon, a circle cutter, a large plastic bag, a piece of wax paper, a rolling pin. If you have a Wilton rolling pin, you'll need the purple rings. If you do not have a Wilton rolling pin, you can just use a normal rolling pin. You will also need a hole puncher, glue dots, and a piece of white construction paper. So that is all the stuff you'll need to make these cupcakes. Let's get started. After you make your cupcakes, you're going to need to put them into the fridge while we make the modeling chocolate. So you're going to put your chocolate into the microwave for 30-second intervals, and you'll be mixing it until it is completely melted. Once it is completely melted, you will be adding your corn syrup and stirring that through. Okay, so once you have it all mixed in, it's going to look something like this. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pour this out on half of the wax paper. Just like that. And then you're going to want to fold the other half of the wax paper over. And then press it down so it's flat, so then it can dry a little bit quicker. So you're going to want to leave this sit overnight, so you're going to have to make this the day before you decide to make your Disney cupcakes. If you guys end up making these cupcakes, tag me in a picture on Instagram. There'll be a link down below because I would love to see them. So then once you have it all laid out, you're going to want to put it in a bag so then not a lot of air gets to it. And you're going to leave that sit overnight. So while I'm waiting for my modeling chocolate to harden and get to room temperature, I'm going to be making our little dots for Mickey's pants. So all you're going to need is your hole puncher and your white paper, and you're just going to cut out 2 holes per cupcake. I'm doing a half dozen of cupcakes, so I'm going to need to cut out 12 little dots. Then you'll be using your glue dots to attach them. So then it's going to look something like that for Mickey's pants. So now you're going to do that on the rest of your cupcakes and keep them back in the fridge just until your modeling chocolate is ready to work with. I finished the dots on my Mickey Mouse cupcakes. Now I'm going to be working with the modeling chocolate. If you want to do it in the same day, I just put mine in the freezer and I've been letting it sit to room temperature. So this also works, but it is more suggested just to leave it sit overnight. But you can also do it this way if you would like to. Okay, so now that mine is all ready, you're going to be taking off part of the wax paper, and now we're going to have to knead it into a dough. I suggest doing it little pieces at a time because it does take a while to be able to get this hard chocolate into that dough consistency. So I'm just going to time lapse this until I get it ready. I've also done a few other baking videos, and I plan on doing more in the future, so let me know in the comments below if you guys have any other ideas for me to do. Also, you can check out all my other baking videos. I'll have a playlist down below. I actually made cookies for Valentine's Day last year, so if you guys would like to check out that video on how to make some Valentine's Day cookies, that will also be down below. Now you could always make this with fondant, but the modeling chocolate does taste a lot better than fondant, so you could go out and buy fondant and do that. But I like making this chocolate because it tastes a lot better and it holds up a lot better also. Mine now finally feels like dough. So next we are going to be rolling it out. So you're also going to need your cornstarch. I suggest putting this on the rolling pin and also some on your mat or counter or wax paper, whatever you end up using. That way it doesn't stick to the rolling pin or to the counter. And if you're not using one of these rolling pins that I am using here, don't roll it out too thin or else it will not be strong enough to be able to stand up onto the cupcake. Then you're going to want to set it aside and you're going to want to let it harden. Make sure it sits flat. And also, I'm only doing 6 dozen cupcakes, so I'm only going to need 12, but I suggest making a few extra just in case some of them break when you go to put them on, because that will happen. So make a few more than you need just in case. So now I'm gonna make all of my ears and I will see you guys when I'm done. So now that I finished my ears, I'm gonna be doing my favorite part, which is decorating the cupcake with icing. So as I said before, I'm using tip 2A. This is just a basic circle tip. So when you're doing your piping, you're always going to want to keep this top part twisted. And whatever hand you are, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be keeping my thumb closed on the twisted part so the icing doesn't spew out the back. Then I'm just going to be doing my right hand to help guide it around. So we're going to be doing just a basic swirl. If you guys have not seen my logo before, that is how I did it. So basically you're going to want to squeeze a lot of icing in the middle like this. And then just bring it all the way around. And then just tower it up as much as you would like. I know a lot of people out there do not like icing. Now as you use your icing, constantly keep twisting and pushing the icing down. It will be so much easier to decorate. Pick up 2 ears. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but there are some cracks and wrinkles down on this end. And this side actually looks pretty good. So you're gonna wanna put it in bad and down. The Disney Cupcake. Okay, I'm gonna finish putting the ears on these cupcakes and I'll be back with you when they're done. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoy your Disney cupcakes. Make sure to tag me in a picture on Instagram if you end up making these. Just remember, every single cupcake is unique and they're not all gonna be perfect. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!